Red October has come and gone, but with Team Toyota's home field advantage, you'll score even more savings this offseason. Choose from our winning lineup of new Toyotas, like Corollas, Camrys, RAV4s, and Highlanders, all in stock for immediate delivery. Or ship over 200 certified used Toyotas with MVP pricing to deliver quality and value. And when it comes to service and collision repair, our team gets you back in the game fast. So visit us in Langhorne, Princeton, or Glen Mills, or take a swing online at teamtoyota.net. You are listening and or watching to Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. I am Spencer McKercher, digital video producer, co-host of the pod, joined once again by Sean Kane, the producer of Phillies pre- and post-game live. And
yes, indeed.
Oh, Kane, I've been trying to mess with like intros. I want kind of something consistent.
Okay.
So I was thinking like you're listening.
You're listening.
Do you like it watching?
You're
watching?
Like that?
Yeah.
You know, just something you can kind of come right out of the gate with.
Kind of like my Brent Musburger to a
yeah,
point.
you are
like,
looking live.
Yeah, but you know,
right.
We're not live.
No.
We're not live, thank God.
Yeah.
Because if this was live, fun things would be happening. But we're here. How's everyone going? Hope everyone's having a great off season. We are kind of struggling.
Yeah.
I'm back on the old 9 to 5 grind here. It's not for me, man. It is just not. It's not for me. But how's your off season going? I know you had some time off there.
Yeah.
Good time to enjoy it and watch even a little bit of postseason baseball.
Yeah, I watched some postseason baseball. It was good. You know, after the Phillies were, bounced, unfortunately, that Thursday night, the 9th, I guess it was, took the rest of that week and the next week off just to kind of get out of the baseball grind for a little bit. But now, back in the office, doing some shows here and there, jumping around, some Eagles shows, some other shows, helping out where needed. But yeah, we had hoped, obviously, to still be going strong through October here, certainly at least to the NLCS. And now with the World Series starting in a couple days, it's a little bittersweet that the Fighting Phils aren't preparing for it. But it's the way it goes. And the Dodgers look pretty strong, man. They took care of business in that NLCS pretty easily, which wasn't exactly a shock. Certainly not to you, who you doubted the Brewers all season long. Yeah. So you kind of saw that coming.
I did. Who do you got? We'll start with that.
In the World Series?
There's a lot to go over here. We're going to talk about some postseason awards. Bryce Harper, Gold Glove finalist.
Yep.
Kind of shoved that in Ricky Bo's face.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber and Trea Turner, the only 2 Silver Slugger finalists. Then I want to talk about maybe a team MVP, pitcher of the year, reliever of the year kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Then we have something that we didn't get to during Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson's press conference reaction pod. And that was Matt Strahm's comments about not doing enough PFP. So I want to hit on that. And then possibly some Brandon Marsh and surprisingly Bryce Harper trade talks.
Okay.
So we'll get onto that.
Sure.
But start with, who do you got in the World Series? Blue Jays, Dodgers?
I got Dodgers in 6. Ooh. That's where I'm going. I don't think it's going to be like the NLCS. I think that the Blue Jays are going to win a game or 2. Obviously 2 if I'm saying in 6. So, Blue Jays can hit a little bit. I think they're going to win at least one of those games in Toronto to start the series. Games 1 or 2. Blue Jays are tough. They're a good squad. They won a very good division. They got some pitching, but I think the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. And I think probably when we're going to look back at this and think probably the Phillies might have given them the toughest test, given that, the Phillies' 3 losses in that series were a combined 4 runs. So certainly games could have went either way. But Dodgers to me are the best team in baseball. Phillies had them, on the ropes a couple of times, but couldn't finish the job. And that's the way it goes. So yeah, I think the Dodgers finish it off and go back to back.
I've seen some national media outlets who basically said that was the World Series.
Yeah.
Is the Phillies and the Dodgers. And it's kind of cool. I'm debating if I want to post this or not, or we want to send it out. We got the entire game 4 melt. So it's like slow motion, every
all
play,
the different camera
every
angles of every play.
Dude,
yes.
It's like 23 hours.
It's a lot of 11 innings.
Insane. Shout out to James Convey, who had to go through all of it, and he kind of narrowed it down to about 5 hours right now.
Yep.
But there's a lot of good reaction shots of the guys in the dugout, and there's a really good shot of Kirkering just in the dugout just for the final. He was in there for maybe 5 minutes after the game. And Weston Wilson, everyone comes. Alec Boehm comes and talks to him. Amundo Sosa comes and talks to him for quite a while.
Schwarber, I think, came in eventually.
Schwarber came in, gave him a nice big hug. Man, it's reliving it has been brutal. It's been brutal. And
2 weeks from tomorrow. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already since that
dude.
fateful Game 4.
I cannot believe it. I am with you, though. I do have the Dodgers. I'm going to be cheering for the Blue Jays, and I know everyone's kind of, 1993, whatever.
Right. You remember that series in 93. You lived that one for sure.
I was 3 years away from
Well, I was 12 years in.
And so it's still
I was devastated.
So you're cheering for the Dodgers.
I mean, I wouldn't
Can
go
you
that
cheer
far.
for the Blue Jays? Are they still up there?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think you can cheer for them as the underdog in the series. And if you're against the Dodgers building this not quite the evil empire, but certainly, they're kind of looked upon in baseball circles. There's a lot of whatever the word I'm looking for is resentment, maybe. But I personally, I don't have a problem with it. I know a lot of the Phillies said the same thing. The Dodgers, they go out, they spend money, they want to win, and they're going to do the best they can to win. So, I think it's more maybe kind of a little bit of a jealousy from some other teams. But again, the Blue Jays are a good squad. They were a good team all year, but I don't think they have quite the firepower to match up for a 7-game series with the Dodgers. But sure, I'll support the underdog in this series and root for, I feel like kind of anti-American, rooting for the team from Canada, to be honest. I don't hate the Dodgers. I just, it's tough to kind of root for the Dodgers, especially after they beat the Phils and everything. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, the only loss the Dodgers have right now is Game 3 in the NLDS against the Phils.
Yeah.
Tough, man.
Don't need to see the Joe Carter home run on a loop, either, which we're going to see a lot. It's the first time they've been back since that.
Yep.
That was the last swing of a World Series game featuring the Toronto Blue Jays.
Insane.
I was in 7th grade, man. That was a tough one. That was one of the toughest ones of my youth. Just because that team was so much fun. They popped out of nowhere. They had been pretty much bad my whole life.
Right.
I was 2 in 83 when they went to the World Series. And then a lot of the mid to late 80s was rough. The early 90s was rough. And then they pop up, and what a great year. What a magical run. Beat the Braves in the NLCS. And, they had their opportunities in that World Series, man. That was a tough one to take.
Yeah.
But then
I've heard stories. I've heard stories.
You can imagine.
We know.
Yep.
It's tough, but I think it's gonna be a fun series. It should be, at least.
Yeah.
The way that Vlad and company are swinging the bats, and Springer's still doing Springer things in the postseason.
Yep. Guys that can swing the bat. Little known fact to wrap up the 93 portion of this:
Why not?
that a certain young reliever coming up through the Phillies system at that time, to this day, who might be a close friend of ours, Ricky Batalico, won the Paul Owens Award as the top pitcher in the minor leagues, says he was this far away from getting called up in 93.
Wow.
He was right there on the precipice of it. He thought at one point he was getting called up, but there was some couple different transactions made, didn't get called up. But as he puts it, he had a live arm, man. He was young. He had a lot of bullets. Mitch Williams was running out of gas. A lot of that bullpen was used heavily that year in 93. David West and Roger Mason and blah, blah, blah. Rick said he could have helped.
A young Bo.
If he's on that mound, Joe Carter, is he catching up to Bo's gas? That's one of the great questions of baseball history. We might be talking about the 93 World Series champion Phillies, but Rick never got a shot.
Can you imagine young rookie Ricky Bo just
boy.
out there just throwing gas in the World Series game?
Standing on the mound at the then Sky Dome, all eyes on him. That would have been something. But alas.
The pride of Connecticut is out there in a World Series game. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Oh, well.
Like I said, it should be a fun series. I'm looking forward to it. I have been watching a lot of postseason baseball just to kind of feel something.
Yeah. ALCS was great.
It was so much fun, dude. I felt bad for the Mariners. Was really hoping they would make their first World Series appearance, but George Springer has other ideas, and that's a guy that goes to show he shows up in the big lights in October. He's done it multiple times, and that was a huge swing in Game 7, and just fun. You say Game 7 in any sport?
Yeah, it was cool.
It's always a good time, and I think that moment, and then Gino's grand slam in Game 5. Really, I mean, it goes to show that playoff baseball really is the best, man. And wish we still had some playoff baseball here in South Philly, but nonetheless, here we are.
Yes.
So we'll move on. We'll start with the news that came out today. So Kyle Schwarber, Trea Turner, the only 2 Silver Slugger Award nominees.
Yep.
Are you shocked by that? Are you surprised by that? Are you shocked that there isn't anybody else involved? I mean, Trea Turner wins the batting title.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber has an NL leading and Major League leading in RBIs, NL leading home runs, Major League leading in RBIs.
Yeah.
I think Schwarber's looking for his second, and Trea's looking for his second.
Yeah. I would think they would both be favorites to win at their respective positions without really diving into the finalists.
It's Shohei.
Oh, the DH. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. I forgot about
Shohei.
the DH factor. I was thinking more Turner at shortstop, but
Give it
never
to
mind.
Kyle, man. Give it to Kyle.
I don't think Kyle. Well, he might. I mean, he had more homers, more
RBIs,
but obviously we talked about this a lot. Shohei, Obviously, the OPS is higher, the average is higher. He scored, what did Shohei score? 275 runs?
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. But he scored a lot of runs. So it depends on what you're looking at. That's a shame. But he's going to win the MVP, so I guess I'll probably give him that Silver Slugger, too.
Yeah. And I want to see here real quick I forget who's that short. Oh, it's Lindor and Gerardo Perdomo.
Yeah, I think Trea should get the nod there. I mean, Perdomo had a good year. Lindor is solid, but yeah.
Hopefully Trea gets home with some hardware next year.
But yeah, no, not surprised either of them are the finalists. They had, as you said, batting champ and an NL home run champ and MLB RBI champ for Kyle Schwarber. So not surprising. And then, no, if you look elsewhere, I mean, Harper didn't. We've talked a lot about Bryce. I know we're going to get into him later, but doesn't surprise me that he was not a finalist.
And that's Alonso, Freeman, and Olsen.
Yeah. So it's a tough position as it is. And when you don't have a great year, you're going to have a tough time being a Silver Slugger finalist. And obviously in the outfield, there wasn't anything to speak of. Bohm at third. JT's always kind of, I know he's won in the past, as a catcher, but his offense, as we talked about on our last podcast, has kind of been in decline. So not surprising that he didn't make the cut as a finalist either.
Your guy, Hunter Goodman.
Yeah.
Hunter Goodman, William Contreras, and Will Smith, the three finalists for catcher in the National League.
Makes sense.
And then it's Shohei, Kyle, and Yelich for the DH. Okay. So it's going to be fun. Poor Kyle, man. Dude.
Yeah, Shohei's probably going to win. That's a shame. Yeah.
Should win MVP.
Yeah.
Should win Silver Slugger.
That's what Shohei. It's like so many guys have had like these caliber seasons where any other year they'd win MVP. Like for instance, when Shohei was still with the Angels, Vlad had that unbelievable year. Didn't win the MVP because they're competing with a guy who hits and pitches. And obviously the pitching doesn't go into the Silver Slugger aspect of it, but his numbers offensively were pretty otherworldly again.
MVP sure does, though. MVP sure does. And that guy, man, in Game 4 against the Brewers. And again, I'm glad you said that because, getting swept or sweeping the Brewers just goes to show.
You said they were frauds all year.
Frauds, man.
I fought the good fight for Milwaukee and Pat Murphy.
Yeah, good old your guy Pat.
But they weren't really even competitive. I mean, some of those games were kind of close, but they couldn't score any runs off that pitching, which, the Phillies had a tough time. But at least the Phillies games were like late innings that could go either way.
Correct.
The Dodgers had that series in the bag. It seemed pretty early on.
Yeah, I think the Brewers only scored one run. Yeah. Or they only scored at least one run in all 4 games. They didn't score more than one run. So
that's not going to win it.
It's not. And hopefully the Blue Jays have a little better luck against the Dodgers, not starting rotation. But yeah, good for Trea, good for Kyle. I mean, they both deserve it, man. What 2 great seasons from 2 outstanding human beings and baseball players. Trea obviously getting the batting title, well deserved. Finished second in hits behind Luis Arraez in the National League. But still,
and that's after missing the last 3 weeks of the season. He would have ran away with the hits crown as well.
Bingo.
Yeah,
that's
200 plus hits, easy.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Now let's shift real quick to Bryce. So we'll talk about his Gold Glove.
Yep.
He's a Gold Glove finalist.
Yep.
Any chance that you think that he wins that? I mean, and I said shove it up Ricky because Ricky's very defensive against Bryce's defense.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, I think Bryce, obviously the guy never played there before for the last, prior to 2 years ago. So, the job he's done, the athlete he is, whether you want to call him a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. Ricky's point is like, he's good over there, but all the Gold Glove stuff, I don't know. I mean, he's really good over there. He's a good athlete. He makes a lot of plays, and he's still kind of like learning how to play the position, oddly enough. Like he still kind of struggles with that ball in the hole,
right? Where
he doesn't know, should I go get this? Should I go cover the bag? And then a lot of times he'll go too far. I won't be able to go back. So a lot of that like instinct stuff is still a work in progress. But I mean, just shows you how good of an athlete the guy is that he's acclimated himself over there, and they really don't want to move him. I don't blame him. Like I think it's less of an injury risk there, and he's proven to be a well above average first baseman defensively. So that's his new home, and I think that's where you're going to see him probably for the remainder of his contract.
I think so too. I know we can, and again, off-season pods. There's a lot to talk about. The whole Pete Alonso intriguing storyline coming into this offseason. Do you go out and get him and move Bryce to right field if you end up getting rid of Nick Castellanos to say words that are less than anything else?
Right.
But yeah, I think Bryce is a plus defender over there, regardless. And it's impressive to see him transition into becoming the first baseman, a Gold Glove finalist first baseman, after spending most of his career in right field. It's exciting for him. I mean, you have Matt Olson and Spencer Steer, the other 2 finalists.
Okay.
Olson led all MLB first baseman with 17 plus defensive runs saved.
Okay.
And he had a +9 OAA compared to Harper's +1 OAA. So I don't know. We'll see. And Spencer Steer, obviously.
Yeah, I would think he has a shot.
Yeah.
You have the finalists up in front of you right now?
I do.
Who are the finalists at second base?
Oh,
like, I can't believe Stott's not a finalist. Like, I should have. I feel like I'm John Kruk asking you questions live on the broadcast right now.
No, but
like the Stott isn't even a finalist. Like Stott to me is, I thought he'd be a lock, maybe to win it, let alone be a finalist.
Dude, some of the social content. I mean, we made so many Bryce and Stott defensive plays on social this year, and I kept saying like future Gold Glover, Bryce and Stott. So the finalists are Xavier Edwards from the Marlins, Nico Horner from the Cubs, and Bryce Terang from the Brewers. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know how he doesn't make the cut.
That's crazy.
Those guys, but
that's
interesting.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
The MLB.com says Edwards saw more than twice as much time at second base as he did at shortstop. Significantly better defender at the Keystone as well. He recorded +9 OAA at second compared to a surprising -7 OAA during his time at short. I don't know, man. That's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Horner won in 2023.
Yep. I know he's a former
winner.
winner.
Won in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough position, I guess. But I thought Stott was certainly worthy of being a finalist at the very least.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then, I guess outfield really nothing. Maybe Bader, but since he kind of came over late, I don't know how that works and how their voting works. But it's PCA, Victor Scott, and Jacob Young for center field.
Yeah, maybe if Bader didn't switch leagues, he'd be a candidate. Yeah. But obviously, switching leagues in the middle of the season kind of throws you off there.
Man, because he was a plus defender again for the Phils.
Yeah.
I really hope they bring him back. And
he was great.
Again, more to get into with that. But going back to Bryce. So on I think it was like a New York Post Pinstripe podcast, Joel Sherman, national writer, but also writes for the Yankees as well. Is that right? I think so.
Yes. Yeah. He writes for the New York Post. He's an MLB Network contributor.
Correct.
But a big New York baseball guy. And yes.
And his exact quote in a podcast this week was, it's less than a 0% chance that he would be surprised if Bryce Harper got dealt this season.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out and say that there's a 100% chance that Bryce Harper does not get traded anytime soon.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, I would never go 100%, but I would be very surprised.
99.9.
Yes. I don't think, he has a no trade clause, so we'd have to waive that.
Correct.
I don't think they have designs of trading him, despite, I don't know, people are making too much of what Dave Dombrowski had to say at his press conference about the season that Bryce had. I thought Dave Dombrowski was telling the truth, and maybe you read that as a challenge to Bryce. But no, I don't think he's going to be traded. I think he's staying here at least for the foreseeable future. Now, whether they decide to move him at some point, if he agrees to be moved by the end of his contract, who knows? But no, I still think they're in that win now mode, and trading Bryce Harper doesn't really go with the plan of winning now. No. Even when he's not at his best, he's as you just said, he's a plus defender. He's a force in your lineup. He gets on base even when he's not putting up his typical numbers. So no, I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. Not that I've talked to Bryce personally about that, but I don't get the intention that he wants to go anywhere. I think he likes it here with his family here. They got young kids. I'm sure they're not looking to kind of relocate all over the place. So I'd be surprised if Bryce moves anywhere. But I am interested in seeing how he responds. We heard Scott Boras, his agent, respond to Dave Dombrowski's comments about Bryce's season. Bryce not being elite, Bryce being a good player still, but will he ever be elite again? Who knows? So I'm curious to see how Bryce takes it and how he responds next year. He's 33 years old now. Will he bounce back and have an elite season next year? I think that's what the Phillies sure are hoping for. Time will tell, as Dombo said.
And it's funny because you mentioned Scott Boras' comments. I'm reading them now. It's so funny because he could have, and that's the thing. If there was smoke, coming out of this, I think he would have poured a little more gasoline onto that fire.
Yes,
with these comments being like, "Hey," and
I'm sure he's talked to Bryce about, "Hey, would you see what Dave said? What do you think?" And if Bryce wanted him to stir it up, he probably would have stirred it up a little bit.
Bingo. Yeah, and I'm glad that, and taking a week now to kind of process Dave Dombrowski's comments about Bryce Harper, I think they were fair. I know initially, and I know we talked about it, but he wasn't wrong about a single thing.
No.
And I want, as a Phillies fan, I want the president of baseball operations / general manager, whatever you want to call it. I want him being critical of your star players, especially when they aren't getting the job done in the postseason. And they didn't have an elite year because Bryce Harper is an elite baseball player. He's still one of the faces of baseball. A completely fair assessment. It's funny though. I feel like Boras does this all the time where he compares his clients to like the top stars in baseball.
Yeah.
So he says, in quotes, when you look into expected baseball stats, Harper's pretty much on par with his career average. He's surrounded by Kyle Tucker, Fernando Tatis Jr., Bobby Witt Jr., Rafael Devers. His barrel rate, hard hit rate, exit velocity are all in the top of MLB. His barrel rate is the same as Vladdy and Bobby Witt Jr., and his exit velocity is the same as Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And again, he's not wrong.
Right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, the barrel rate stuff and all that, like that's fair enough. I mean, obviously his numbers, his raw traditional numbers weren't what you expect him to be, and he made the point too. Well, he missed. I mean, he did miss a month. He still played 134 games. Yep. So I mean, it's not like he missed. That's a good chunk of the season. Now, obviously, if you play in 20 more games, you probably hit.
He had 27 home runs. So
yeah, you probably get over 30. Maybe you get up to closer to 33, 34 homers. That looks a lot better. The RBIs creep up closer to 100.
A little higher OPS.
Yeah. But he still played a good chunk of the season. And you're right. The numbers were not elite. It's a fair assessment, and it is what it is. And you start to wonder, is time going to catch up with him? 33 years old, 15 plus seasons in the big leagues. So he's been around for a while. We'll see, as Dave Dombrowski put it. But no, I don't think it was. I think the comments were fair by Dave Dombrowski. I found Scott Boras standards, I found it to be a pretty measured response.
For sure.
Like, didn't really want to stir it up and kind of defended his guy, brought up the advanced metrics that you just rattled off. So all very interesting, but certainly something to monitor through the offseason and into spring training.
Is there going to be any more smoke, do you think?
I mean, people are going to keep talking about it.
But even in like years, do you think? Like, I guess if the ring doesn't come.
Yeah.
Then I guess smoke can be there. But I don't see Bryce Harper not retiring as Philly.
No, well, obviously the whole extension thing is an interesting angle, because he's made it known now for a couple years through Scott Boras that he wants an extension, and I'm sure he sees his contract being surpassed by these other guys. And he's on record saying, I want to play into my 40s, and that would entail a contract extension where they can add on some years and kind of add up the value a little bit by tacking on some years. But I mean, you're talking about tacking on years that won't come to play until 2033,
right?
I mean, 2032, whenever his deal's up.
No, he's got 7 more years left. So yeah,
6 more, I think. 6 more starting in 26. So 32. Then you're paying him. You're going to pay him $30 million when he's 39, 40 years old, 7-8 years from now. I don't know. There could be a case to be made if he's coming off an MVP caliber season, which he did win it a few years back. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's an interesting angle of all this too. And I'm sure that's in the back of everybody's mind. And Dave Dombrowski may be kind of saying, hey, if you're hell-bent on this extension, start putting up numbers that we're accustomed to seeing, and then maybe you think about it. But right now, I get it from the Philly standpoint. We're paying you for the next 6 years, and right now you need to kind of maybe amp up that production a little bit.
And he does. He's not wrong. We need to see elite Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
You have some of these big name guys. You have Shohei, who didn't perform in the playoffs as well as expected, but you still have Freddie Freeman still showing up. Mm-hmm. You have George Springer showing up. You have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. showing up. You have Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh all showing up in the postseason. You need those guys to show up in the postseason, and we're just beating a dead horse at that point. But
no, I mean, he did show up for a long time in the post. I mean, the first couple postseasons the Phillies were historic. At one point during that Diamondback series, I remember during a pre or post game show, I think maybe after game 2 or maybe after the home run out in Arizona, we put up a full screen graphic of career OPS in the postseason with a minimum of whatever it was, games played at bats, and whatever that minimum was, it was Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and Bryce Harper. His career OPS in the postseason at that time was 1,100 or 1,200. But then you tack on game 6 and 7 of that Arizona series, you tack on the NLDS last year, the NLDS this year. I mean, those numbers have come down drastically because, like a lot of the other big guys in the lineup, he has struggled offensively in the last 10 to 11 postseason games he's played.
It's just a shame. I want to look up what his current
career OPS is in the postseason.
In the postseason, 986.
Yeah, so it's under 1,000, which obviously on his face is wow, that's awesome.
Still awesome.
But I'm telling you, man, in 23, midway through that Diamondback series, it was at 1,200.
That's insane.
I mean, you can look if you're on Baseball Reference of each year by year what his OPS in the postseason has been.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's still Bryce Harper, and I would like to think that there's still plenty of good years left in Bryce Harper, and I know there is good years left in Bryce Harper, and there's 100% chance he's not getting traded.
Yeah,
100% chance he's not getting traded, man. Well, it's a fun storyline though, and I know all these Yankees fans now are going nuts about it. And
it's a big name. He always has been. He
correct
the headlines.
Yep.
Hey, T-Mac, another great day, best fans, the best city. How lucky are we?
It doesn't get much better than this. But I got to tell you, Our guy missed a lot of the game last night. I think he missed almost a full inning going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, he said he kept feeling like he had to go, and then nothing would come out.
I think he went back 3 times before the 7th inning. Now, that's more than just having too many beer baths.
Nope, it sounds like BPH. It's more common than you think.
Well, it's time to stop holding it about prostate health. Good thing we've got our friends at Temple Health who are way smarter about these things than we are. Let's let the doc explain. So, Doc, what's going on with our guy?
Sounds to me like he's got this problem called BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. It really means that guys just have trouble peeing.
But there's a solution to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. At Temple Health, there are doctors that really specialize in BPH. Aquablation is one of those things that we offer that many people don't, and other things like prostate enucleation as well. Both of them are minimally invasive that really help guys.
And for most patients, they come out of it feeling fine.
Yeah, I think most patients have a really simple recovery that's straightforward.
Well, that's a big win, because it's better than going to the bathroom a dozen times during a ball game.
Oh, absolutely. These results for guys are long-lasting. Let's face it, prostate health shouldn't be keeping guys out of the game.
Hey, I ran into our guy again. No more backroom sprints. He's back in the game.
He told me it was like the most relief he's had in years, in more ways than one. I mean, he even stayed for extra innings.
Aquablation therapy at Temple Health. Get back in the game. Visit templehealth.org.
Moving on. I really wanted to hit on it after our podcast, after Dave and Topper's end of season press conference, because the Matt Strahm comments after the game, which I didn't even see. So I kind of tuned everything out, and it sounded like really, I guess Todd Zalecki and some other writers really the only ones that had Matt Strahm's comments about it.
Yeah.
So basically after game 4, Orion does what Orion did. And Matt Strahm went on, talked to some writers and said that basically the Phillies didn't do enough PFP, pitching, fielding. What is it? Pitchers, fielding,
fielding practice. Yeah. Yep. PFP.
And
a lot in spring training as you're down there. You see they do that all the time.
Correct.
But the issue is, do they do it enough during the season, throughout the season?
And Dave Nabrowski commented, I thought it was very interesting, kind of took a deep breath and he said, in season or postseason? They're like,
right.
Both, basically. And he's like, well, we did it.
Right.
He didn't do it.
Sure.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of just throwing Matt under the bus, coming off giving him his contract extension to a point.
Vested because of his innings pitched and his passes physical right before the DS started. Yeah.
Interesting comments. And then even Topper said, no, we did do it.
Right.
We did do PFP.
Yeah.
But we're like, just your initial thoughts about that, because to me, it shocked me that one who getting to know Matt Strahm, though, he's very vocal. He's talked to me off camera about many of things, including the trip to London, which I thought those comments will stay for kind of undisclosed. But let's just say they weren't too happy about going the trip to London. Then there's been other comments made even to writers and reporters and all that stuff. And again, good for Matt Strahm being vocal. I consider him maybe a leader in that bullpen. But for then Dave Nabrowski and Rob Thompson to kind of just be like, absolutely not. We did do them.
Right.
Just, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I kind of get the way I took it was like Strahm after that game, and they all were looking to take the heat off of Kerkering. Like, what can we talk about? Like, it's not his fault. And in Strahm's mind, maybe those comments are like, we could have done more. We could have practiced more. It's not his fault. Like, and in doing so, obviously, then you proceed to throw like the coaching staff under the bus. Like, we didn't practice this enough. Like, but I mean, what are we doing? Like, there's a ground ball back to the mound, pick it up and throw it to first base, and you go into the dugout. Like, it's not like it's some elaborate play like the wheel wheel play, the wheel bunt defense that Mookie and the boys executed. That's something that you really need. This is just like a pitcher's fielding practice. Is like there's a ground ball back to the mound, field it, pick it up, throw it to first,
throw it to any base.
Throw it, yeah,
they do it.
Throw it home,
do it all the
sail
time.
It over JT's head.
Yeah.
So I think Strahm was just looking to be a good teammate, defend Orion. Like, oh, maybe we could have practiced that more. We could have done more pitchers fielding practice. So, and then I think it was Jim Salisbury that asked Dombrowski about it during the press conference. Like, were you taken aback by that? And Dave said what he said, and Rob Thompson, as you just mentioned, kind of echoed those sentiments. So, again, Strahm being Strahm, outspoken, as you said, wanting to kind of stick up for his bullpen mate. And I feel like he would stuck up for Orion earlier in the season. There's been a couple instances of it. So that's the way I took it. I didn't really take it to be like a shot at the coaching staff, which I guess it turned out to be. And Dave Nabrowski stood up for his manager, stood up for his coaches, which you'd expect him to do. So I didn't take it to be a much more than that. But yeah, always interesting when like the GM, the president of baseball operations, says, well, we did them, but he didn't do them.
Oh,
so, yeah. Interesting.
Like,
yeah.
Dave.
Right.
Goodness.
Right. But no, It was an interesting back and forth. And again, I just thought Strahm was trying to be a good teammate and not kind of pile on Orion, who was obviously taking all the brunt of that loss on.
I think that's a good way to look at it. I didn't even think of that angle, but that's a hell of a way to look at it. I think you're right. I believe they're throwing partners.
Okay.
Like
he used to be partners with
Hoffman. Yep. And then Strahm took him under his wing.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's exactly what it was, because you have to, and emotions were high in the clubhouse after that win, or after the loss, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. It was like one of those things that I really wanted to talk about it. There was so much more to talk about, and we were kind of on a time crunch. So
I feel like the play too, like Orion, like how many times is he put in a situation where he's fielding a ball, period,
right?
Let alone when he's bobbling it and he's at game, 11th inning of a game 4, like it's just out of his comfort zone.
And Rob Thompson said he can't simulate 50 or 95,000 people screaming at him,
right,
with the bases loaded in a win or go home game.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Right.
Like you can't simulate that in PFP. You can do all the half field work in spring training every single day, which again, I've seen them do every single day. Every morning that I'm down there in that half field, they're out there. You can't simulate screaming fans going nuts.
Just seemed to be an obvious instance of a guy getting caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
His mind was going, once he bobbled that ball, his mind is like, oh boy, like I got to get that. And you look up, there's JT, and you just obviously sail an awful throw. And I don't know. And I don't think that's a matter of practice. I just think he kind of lost his cool.
Yeah, and understandably so.
Yeah.
24 years old in a huge spot. And again, that's not an excuse. We're not making excuses, but still, I'm glad people have kind of come to the aid of Orion Kirkering, because the kid needs it. And as Phillies fans, continue to give him if he's on this team next year, which I expect him to be.
I do too. Like, I don't get that angle of like, oh, he can't ever possibly come back from this. They got to trade him. It's people compare it to Mitch Williams. Mitch Williams never pitched for the Phillies again. Well, Mitch Williams was kind of on the downside of his career.
Right.
This kid has a live arm. Yes. He's young. He had his struggles, but he also had some really good stretches. You need this kid in your bullpen. Correct. And not to mention, he's not going to kill your payroll. He's still an affordable, asset. Yeah. Like Orion Kirkering should be able to come back from this. And I don't think Phillies fans are going to boo like opening day next year.
They give Trea Turner a standing ovation.
Yeah, like I think everybody realizes it was it was a mistake that wasn't like it just happened, and it was a very unfortunate timing, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. It wasn't like I think you rally around the kid.
You have to. Yeah. Like you said, you gave Trea Turner a standing ovation. Yeah. I hope next year, if he's on this team, which I expect him to be, you give him a standing ovation, whether he comes in at opening day. And it's funny because I was talking to my buddy Stu, big Yanks fan, doesn't really follow the Phils too much, and he's like, oh, like, kid, has he been in the situation? Like, I'm like, yes, he has been. He pitched in freaking NLCS when he was 22 years old.
He got called up, right?
Yeah. He was well aware of the situation, and I was like, he was pretty much in line to be the closer to start opening day. Coming out of spring training, I was like, okay, maybe Orion Kirkering is your closer for the entire season. Struggled a little bit, got it together, struggled again, but long story short, give Orion Kirkering some credit.
I sure hope so.
Or some love whenever.
Give him a chance to come back strong from this and be a valuable member of your pen next year.
And the last thing I want to say, looking at the slow-mo too, I believe it was the first base cam, like the low first base cam, and it zoomed in on him. So it's the slow-mo, 120 frames per second, whatever it is. And it's focused on him. So it's on the pitch. And then you kind of see the ball come into play. It hits the lip of the grass and the mound.
Yeah.
You can clearly see it. It hit the lip of the grass, and it took a weird hop.
Yep.
Because he kind of brought his glove up expecting to hop, and it didn't come up as high, and just hit him right in the foot.
Yeah. And then panic sets in, and you're scrambling, trying to get that ball, trying to figure out where to throw it. And
poor kid, man.
That's that.
Stinky.
Indeed. Tough way to end a season.
Tough way to end a season. And again, much more to talk about, but we just want to give you guys a little podcast here to catch up.
Sure.
I did want to do this to wrap up.
Yep.
And I believe we kind of hit on it after the season ended in game 4 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
On Thursday. But give me your team MVP.
Okay.
And just give me your pitcher of the year. I have 2 separates.
Okay.
So if you want to get going, give me your team MVP and your pitcher of the year.
All right.
The Philadelphia Phillies.
So my team MVP probably won't be a shock. Yep. I will give it to Kyle Schwarber. Trea Turner, a very close second. But Schwarber to me was the constant force, even without playing defense 99% of the time, just his offense alone. Obviously, everybody talks about what he means in that clubhouse. So, yeah, he's the MVP. I think he's going to finish as the runner-up of the National League MVP, but I think he's your team MVP. Pitcher of the year, I think Chris Sanchez is my answer. Like, Zach Wheeler was great until, unfortunately, he went out in mid-August. But Sanchez, to me, I think is probably going to finish second in the Cy Young voting. But if you're looking for like a more like obscure, like obviously maybe look to the bull. I mean, Luzardo was great. I think Ranger overall was very good. But like bullpen wise, I mean, Tanner Banks, like I thought he was awesome. Like
that was
he played a great role, like really big role for them. And he was probably one of their more consistent guys. Like Strahm had his moments where he kind of struggled. And we talked about Kerkering being up and down. Alvarado obviously was out for a while and Duran comes, but I'll let you weigh in. But Banks is a guy that I would maybe think about reliever of the year.
He was my reliever of the year.
Yeah.
He was 110% my reliever of the year. Every big moment that Tanner Banks came into, I feel like he didn't struggle. He might have let up a home run once or twice. I believe that Atlanta game.
Yeah.
I want to say early. It was the day before that 3-hour rain delay in like the 7th inning. He might have let up a home run in that game. I can't remember. But Tanner Banks, man, what a season for that kid. And coming off really, they acquire him from the White Sox. Not really a proven name yet. He gets thrown in some big time situations, and all credit to Tanner Banks for a hell of a 2025 season. Now I'm going to go a little off kilter because I keep everyone on their toes a little bit. My team MVP is going to be Christopher Sanchez.
Oh, so you give him the MVP.
Yep.
Got it.
And then I have a pitcher of the year.
Okay.
What can you say? He's going to finish second in the Cy Young voting.
Yep.
He better.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves first place votes. I hope someone out there gives him 1 or 2 first place votes because what Christopher Sanchez did this year and the development of Christopher Sanchez, confidence level, body level, pitching angles, the changeup, everything.
Yeah.
You can't say enough about the kid. And I put him as my team MVP because as soon as Zach Wheeler went down, he stepped up. And he really was. Every single time that he went out there, I trusted Christopher Sanchez on the mound more than half the pitchers that we've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Including Zach Wheeler. He went out and shoved every single time on the mound this year. And I'm very excited for 2026 for Christopher Sanchez.
Great in the postseason too.
Unbelievable, man.
2 really good starts.
It didn't
Not
like falter once.
Yeah.
Didn't falter once. And really what screwed him was a missed strike 3 call.
Yes.
Literally, that's what
in game 4.
Yep.
And then game 1, he was cruising. Kike got him for that double, but he still left in line to get the win.
He was fantastic all season long. And I'm excited for him in 2026. And again, it's just like Shohei, like once Paul Skeens gets out of the National League, which I assume will be soon, give Christopher Sanchez some flowers.
Yeah.
Give him Cy Young at some
point. It was
point.
a Cy Young caliber year.
It really was,
no doubt.
Man. I hope he gets first place votes because he deserves
Team MVP. Who'd you go offensive, like before you get to your pitcher of the year? Offensive, if you had like an offensive player of the year.
Schwarber. Kyle's the easy answer.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's definitely the easy answer. But, and just a fun name, we mentioned him earlier, Harrison Bader, man.
Wow, even with like a 2-month
bingo
tenure.
Just because he was so missed in the NLDS.
Yeah.
Because every single time we talked about it on the podcast leading up to the NLDS and ever since he came over, he turned into that guy where every single time he came up to the plate, I was like, okay, something good is going to happen here.
Yeah. That was an unfortunate injury.
Oh man, that stinks.
Yeah. How about your pitcher of the year? Sanchez, your MVP. Sorry.
Sanchez, my MVP. My pitcher of the year is Jesus Luzardo.
Not a bad choice.
Just because the whole tipping thing, when he really struggled, that Red Sox game will go down as maybe one of the worst starts in his career.
Yep.
And for him to then have like a not really great start, 2 or 3 more starts after that, it was a 4-start stretch where he really struggled.
Yeah. Milwaukee and Toronto.
And Toronto too. Yeah. Correct. But then for him to throw gas and come in and be a dominant pitcher coming right out of the gate and fitting right into the Philadelphia attitude where he's, fired up on the mound every single time. His parents are in the stands going nuts after every strikeout.
Yeah.
And coming off a year where really, he's battling the back injuries last year with Miami, was this high prospect even with the A's, then goes to the Marlins, never really lived up to the hype. He lived up to the hype this year. And for him to kind of figure out the tipping situation and come back and become really a number 2 pitcher in this organization, credit to Jesus Luzardo. The numbers that he finished with were incredible. Still to this day, and probably till the day I die, I really wish he would have finished out that inning against the Dodgers in game 4.
Yeah.
He should have just pitched until his arm fell off.
Yeah.
You could have won 19 innings, Jesus, and then we'll figure out game 5 whenever it comes.
You got to get there.
But just for him to come in when he's scheduled to start game 5, if they got there, and for him to come in and shut the door down for inning and 2/3?
Yeah. No, he was great. And he was great in game 2.
He was unbelievable, man. And big game Zeus, baby.
Big game Zeus
Big
all
game
year.
Zeus
And
every single time.
Yeah. And I think he's a guy this offseason that I think they might try to lock up to a long-term contract extension because he's a year now away from free agency. I think he proved their value. I expect Ranger to leave. So if Ranger leaves, I think Luzardo becomes that much more important. And I think he's a guy that, as you said, fits into the clubhouse, has no problem pitching in Philadelphia. So to me, that's my guess. I would not be shocked if sometime this winter, maybe after they get some free agents figured out, they come to terms before spring training with Jesus Luzardo, a little contract extension.
I hope so, man. 15-7, 3.92 ERA, 183 innings, a career high.
All career highs, everything. Starts, innings, strikeouts.
I hope he's, along with Christopher Sanchez and hopefully Andrew Painter, like you said, stuck with the long run here.
15 wins. I know we're not
15
big into wins anymore, but 15 wins.
15 wins.
Yeah. Took the ball every fifth day.
Which I believe is pretty, would that lead the National League? I believe. I had it pulled up.
I mean, it's got to be among the leaders but I don't think it led the National League. Maybe.
Let's see. This is postseason. Sorry, this is really bad podcasting, but
no,
if you're listening, yeah.
Listening.
Oh no, hold on. That's GD. GD. If you're driving, hopefully you guys are paying attention.
Yep.
15 wins, tied for second.
Okay.
Yeah,
in the National League.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Brandon Webb both had 15 wins.
Yeah. What did Freddie finish with? Peralta?
17.
Okay. Yeah. So he's right there.
You know what's funny too? Did you see that rumor that they might shop Freddie Peralta?
The Brewers. That wouldn't shock me. That's crazy.
That's funny.
I'm a big wins guy still.
Yeah.
I know people like poo-poo it these days, but that's what it's all about. Put your team in a position. Now, obviously, I know you can't control. You leave the game, the bullpen blows it, or you pitch great and your offense is scoring runs. I get it, but I think that's the pitcher's goal when they take the ball is to give their team a chance to win.
Go out and win games.
Yeah.
Go out and win games. Christopher Sanchez finished with 13, tied for 7th.
Yep. Ranger had 12 or 13, I believe. Yeah.
Just a fun year all around. But I mean, just credit to Jesus Luzardo. And like you said, hopefully a long-term contract would be kind of sick.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. I don't even know what number you'd begin with there.
Yeah, it'd be up there.
Yeah.
I mean, because he could wait and test free agency, and I think if he has a similar year next year to the one he just had this year, he'd be a pretty popular commodity on the free agent market. But that whole offseason would be screwed up because it could be looking at labor negotiations. So maybe they want to get it done before that. Who knows?
And I do want to hit that too at some point in an offseason pod. There should be a salary floor instead of a salary cap.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair for sure.
That way you can just control some of these guys, and you don't have the Brewers who are their payroll is literally Shohei's contract. So
right,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's all I got.
That's a wrap.
Sixers season started.
Sixers tonight. Sixers Celtics. NBA is back. Exciting. Sixers. Let's go. Can't get much worse than last year. So let's get back to contending for a playoff spot.
They're going to make playoffs.
I think they make the playoffs. I think they got a good squad.
They got a good
That's
squad.
A big if, obviously, with Embiid and Paul George, but Maxey and when McCain comes back, I love Edgecombe. I think those are good. Quentin Grimes can play. They got some nice pieces, man.
Yep.
I don't know.
And by the way, I got asked to throw this in here.
Yeah.
I got told not to do it, and then I got told by someone a little higher up to do it.
Okay.
I'm being forced to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
it's exciting. It's good.
Okay. I haven't really watched the whole lot. No. Over the years, I really haven't locked into Dancing with the Stars.
Yep. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Robert Irwin, the Steve Irwin's son.
Okay, I know all about Steve Irwin. Yeah,
favorite. He's just a heartthrob, dude. He's
nice.
Yeah,
he's your guy.
He's my guy, dude.
Okay,
the guy knows what he's doing.
Right,
showman.
The showman.
Topanga's
Get him
in
one
there.
of those headbands from Bryce. Let Robert Irwin rock it on Dancing with the Stars.
That'd be awesome.
The showman.
Then I'm really locked in.
Topanga, nice.
Topanga's in there.
Yeah.
Jordan Childs, the gymnast, Olympic gymnast, really good too.
All right.
It's exciting, but I got, maybe we'll do a Dancing with the Stars segment.
Okay. I need to brush up. I need to get familiarized
next
myself.
Tuesday.
Yeah. I remember way back when Jerry Rice was doing it and Evan Smith, I remember seeing those guys do it, but that's about the extent of my knowledge.
Dwight Howard was on last year.
Oh, okay.
Did okay.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Did okay.
I got a lot of respect.
I can't.
As an elite dancer myself, I can tell you that.
Do you think some of those Hollywood guys would check out the Phillies Talk podcast and be like, wow, you know what?
Probably.
These two.
Yeah. Maybe these guys could be candidates for the next season.
There you go.
Certainly.
So there's your Dancing with the Stars segment, everybody.
There you go.
There it is.
I got some of my moves from the bars back in the day.
yeah. Dude, shout out to Westchester.
Yeah, no
shout
doubt.
out to Westchester.
Yep.
Is there any other Phillies content you want to hit?
No, I think we're good. We could go all night here
We got
talking all kinds of stuff. But we got a long off season. The winter meeting is going to be upon us. And then, once the World Series ends, you got 5 days and then free agency is underway.
By the way, I'm officially heading to the winter meetings.
You are good.
Yeah. So we'll do
some podcast with you down there.
Little daily pods.
That would be
December
great.
8th through the 11th.
Love it.
We'll get some special guests.
Do it.
We had some special guests last year.
Yep.
It should be fun.
Good.
I'm excited for that. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But like you said, I think podcasts going forward, I want to get like player specific, even positions specific, reviewing this past season, looking forward to next season. Because I'll tell you what, there's an intriguing name that I've been talking to some friends with that we kind of hit on a little bit after the Dombo podcast.
Okay.
Otto Kemp.
Oh, yeah. He's going to play a role next year, clearly.
There's something special there with that kid, man.
They like him.
I'm looking forward to what he can bring as long as they don't trade him.
Yeah.
Don't trade him.
All right.
All right.
Kemp, baby.
Land the plane.
Land the plane.
We're getting nuts. If you're still listening, shout out to you.
You made it past the Dancing with the Stars stuff. God bless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Robert
cheer
Irwin.
for the Sixers.
Yes.
Birds are
Those
still
Sixers,
doing birds
Flyers
stuff.
picking up steam.
Flyers
Talk it.
playing well.
College hoops is coming.
Cam Boozer last night. By the way, there was a Duke guy in the comments on YouTube. So shout out to that guy.
All right, good.
North Carolina native.
There you
listening
go.
to the pod. He was heartbroken
Made a new
as
friend.
I was
Yeah,
after the Houston. Cats looking good.
Cats will be all right. Kevin Willard, he's got some talent to work with. He got a deep squad. I'm looking forward to it. They wiped up with on VCU in a scrimmage.
Yeah.
They got Virginia this weekend. Then they open with BYU.
Ooh, with the AJ DeSamba.
Yes. So that'll be a tough opener for him. But looking forward to Villanova. We got to get back in the tournament.
Yeah,
let's set the bar a little higher than that. But for now, let's get back in the tournament.
I know we got one Nova game, at least that I'll be with you this year.
Yeah, for UConn, the Ricky Batalico annual Villanova UConn game.
Here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
See if Rick can't accost some more college kids by missing a few free throws.
That's a story. Well, you do have to tell
I shouldn't
that
say
story
accost college kids. He's yelling at poor college basketball players after poor Alex Caravan missed a pair of free throws, and Rick's just giving it to him. Kid feels bad enough. Rick, you Caravan,
as
you
we're like
stink.
8 rows up from the.
Oh yeah, you can hear Rick.
Bench.
Believe it or not, his voice carries.
All right.
Yes.
On that note, there will be a lot of college basketball talk later in the pod.
Good
look
stuff.
out for Cam Boozer. Put his name down.
Good
and
times.
Look out some more Phillies talk. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to dissect, including a fun World Series that we'll dive into because our Dodgers fans too in the comments that are probably going to be checking this out as well.
Yeah.
So a lot to go. 45 minutes in. We got to get out of here. Land the plane. That's Sean Kane. I'm Spencer McKercher. Thanks for listening to the Phillies Talk podcast presented by Team Toyota. We'll catch you guys next week.